Let's talk about the postulates of quantum mechanics. So, the first postulate says that associated to any isolated physical system is a complex vector space with inner product, that is a Hilbert space known as the state space of the system, and the system is completely described by its state vector, which is a unit vector in the system's state space. The simplest quantum mechanical system which we will be most concerned with is the qubit, which has a 2D state space represented by a state vector psi, which is equal to alpha 0 plus beta 1, where 0 and 1 form an orthonormal basis of that state space. Here, psi is normalized given by the condition that inner product of psi is equal to 1. So the first postulate defined the physical system with the state space and state vector. Now, how does the state psi evolves with time is given by the second postulate, which says that the evolution of a closed quantum system is described by a unitary transformation, that is the state psi at time t1 is related to the state psi t2 by a unitary operator u, which depends only on the time t1 and t2, such that psi at time t2 is equal to u operating on psi at time t1. This postulate describes how the quantum state of a closed quantum system at two different times are related. A more refined version of this postulate would be to describe the evolution in continuous time, which can be achieved by the Schrodinger equation given by I h cut d psi by dt equal to h operating on psi. Here, h is our Hamiltonian operator of the closed system, which is also a Hermitian operator, which implies we can write h as a spectral decomposition given by h equal to summation E times the outer product of the state E, where the state E is the energy eigenstate and the scalar E is its corresponding eigenvalue. Now the relation between the unitary transform U and the Hamiltonian H is given by the expression U T1 T2 is equal to exponential of minus I H T2 minus T1 divided by H cut, such that psi T2 equal to U operating on psi T1 will be equal to psi T2 equal to exponential of minus I H T2 minus T1 by H cut into psi T1. And obviously U is a unitary operator such that U dagger equal to U dagger U equal to I. So far we have defined a state representing our physical system and also gave an equation that describes its time evolution. Now let's talk about the measurement of a quantum system. For a closed quantum system A, when we try to make a measurement of it in order to find out what is happening inside the system, an external interaction is made which makes the system no longer closed, and hence we may not describe its time evolution with a unitary transform u. So, to explain what happens when this is done, we introduce postulate 3, which says that quantum measurements are described by a collection of measurement operators m subscript m, where the subscript m is the measurement outcome. So, in order to understand this postulate, suppose the state of the quantum system is psi immediately before the measurement. Then the probability that the result m occurs is given by p of m equal to psi m dagger m into psi. And the state of the system is renormalized after the measurement given by psi dash, which is equal to m subscript m, that is the measurement operator, into the state psi divided by the renormalized constant psi m dagger m into psi. Our measurement operator m subscript m satisfies the completeness condition such that summation m dagger m is equal to I, which also implies that sum of all probabilities is 1, that is summation m p of m is equal to 1, which implies summation m, and p of m is this expression psi into m dagger m psi is equal to 1. Now let's see an example of a single qubit state in order to understand the measurement operator. Let us define two measurement operators m0, which is the outer product of 0 state, and m1, which is the outer product of 1 state, such that m0 square is equal to m0 and m1 square is equal to m1, and also m0 and m1 are Hermitian. From this we can also check the completeness condition, that is m0 dagger m0 plus m1 dagger m1 is equal to I, which can be also written as m0 plus m1 based on these two conditions. So for a single qubit state, psi, which is given by alpha 0 plus beta 1, where the 0 and 1 are the orthonormal basis set, the probability of getting 0 as the outcome is given by p of 0 equal to rho of psi m0 dagger m0 ket of psi, which will be equal to psi times m0 into psi, which when expanding the psi will get 0 into alpha plus 1 into beta, and m0 is the outer product of 0 state into alpha 0 plus beta 1. And since 0 and 1 state are our orthonormal basis, we'll have p of 0, that is the probability of getting 0 as the output, equal to alpha square. Similarly, the probability of getting 1 as the output is given by p of 1, which would be equal to rho of psi m1 dagger m1 into ket of psi, which would again be equal to rho of psi m1 ket of psi equal to beta square. Now the state psi after the measurement in both the cases will be, if the output was 0, then the state psi dash would be equal to m0 operating on psi divided by rho of psi m0 dagger m0 psi, which would be equal to m0 psi divided by, since this value is alpha square, so we will get alpha square, and when m0 operates on psi we'll get alpha. So the final state psi dash after the measurement of output 1 would be alpha times 0 divided by alpha. And similarly, the post measurement state psi dash for if the measurement outcome was 1 would be m1 times psi divided by root under rho of psi m1 dagger m1 psi, which would be equal to m1 times psi into root under, this would be beta square, which again will get beta times the one state divided by beta. Now one last thing about the measurement is that the cascaded measurements are single measurement. That is, if we have two measurement operators LL and MM, and if we measure a system with L followed by M, it is equivalent to a single measurement defined by the measurement operator N LM, such that N LM would be equal to MM and LL. So far we saw the three postulates. Now lastly, if we have a quantum system made up of two or more distinct physical systems, this composite system is described by the fourth postulate, which says that the state space of a composite physical system is the tensor product of the state spaces of the component physical system, and the joint state of the total system is given by this state, which is the tensor product of all the states of the component systems. So I hope you understood all the four postulates of quantum mechanics.